In this video, we are going to learn about graphing and slope-intercept form. So, graphing from an equation. Equations are often written in slope-intercept form, or y equals mx plus b. So, mx plus b, where m represents slope and b represents the y-intercept. So, equations that are not in slope-intercept form, that's L-O-P-E, slope-intercept, can be put into slope-intercept form by to be graphed by isolating the y variable. So, whenever an equation with two variables, with a y and x variable, is written with y on one side of the equation and it's by itself, it makes it easy to graph because the slope is whatever is being multiplied with the x, and the y-intercept, or the starting point, is the constant being added or subtracted. So, for example, I don't know how to graph this. I don't know what the slope is. I don't know what the y-intercept is. But if I can get this y by itself, if I can isolate it, and normally we want it, the y on the left side of the equal sign, and by itself. So how do I get the y by itself? I want this y by itself. Well, I need to get rid of this 2x right over here. How do I get rid of 2x? Subtract it. Minus 2x, because that equals 0, right? 2x minus 2x is 0. That cancels. If I subtract 2x on this side of the equal sign, I have to subtract 2x from the other side, so minus 2x. And then I end up with y equals negative 4 minus 2x, or you can also write it as y equals negative 2x minus 4. They both mean the same thing. You just need to remember that negative 2 is our slope and negative 4 is our y-intercept, and the slope is always whatever is being multiplied with x. Now they want us to graph this. Now that it's written in this form, I can graph it because I know the slope. The slope is negative 2, and I know the y-intercept is negative 4. So I always start by graphing the y-intercept, negative 4, which is down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, y-intercept is where the line is going to touch the y-axis. And our slope is negative 2. And negative 2 is, if you want to write it as a fraction, it's negative 2 over 1, right? So our rise is negative 2, which means I go down. Rise, negative 2, run is 1. Rise, negative 2, run is 1. And I can apply that pattern backward. Just go up 2, backwards 1, 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 up 2, backwards 1. And now I have my points, which I can graph. Hopefully I can make a straight enough looking line. There it is. So now I've graphed this equation, and I had to put it in slope-intercept form first before I graphed it. So, practice graphing equations and identifying solutions by using the graph below. So, I need to graph y equals negative x plus 4 and label it line A. So, they give us a table, so this could actually, a table can be helpful. If you didn't know what the slope was, well, it's whatever is in front of the x. There's a invisible 1, and it's negative, so it's negative 1. And our y-intercept is 4. And they gave us a table. So we could even put numbers in. So, for example, if I couldn't figure out the y-intercept and the slope, I could just say, let me use a different color. Let's use dark green. I could say, hey, when x equals negative 2, what does y equal? Well, negative 2 is positive 2, right? Plus 4, so that's 2 plus 4, which is 6. So that should be 6. When y is, or when x is negative 1, negative 1 plus 4, well, that's just 1 plus 4, right, which is 5. And then when y or x is 0, that's negative 0 plus 4, which is just 4. And then you could even see the pattern here, like from 6 to 5 to 4. And this goes up by 1, and this is going up by 1. But let's go ahead and extend it. When y is positive 1, so negative 1 plus 4, that's 4 minus 1, that's 3. And so forth. You know this is going to be 2. So I can just plot those points, like -2. Let me actually highlight this green to indicate that line A is going to be green. -2 and 6. It's up here. We have -1 and 5. 0 and 4. 1 and 3. 2 and 2. Now, remember how we said we figured out the slope and the y-intercept was -1 and 4? Well, if I had just graphed it by knowing what the slope and the y-intercept was, I'd get the same line. Because our y-intercept is 4. That's this point right here. -1, what that means is -1 over 1, right? So my rise is down 1, is -1, and my run is 1. So down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. So basically, you just have all these points kind of run through these corners. And I'm going to draw my line through all those points. Hopefully I can make it look, whoops, that wasn't very good. Hopefully that doesn't mess it up. Oh, that's kind of ugly. Let's try that again. Try that again. All right, that point, this, and this goes from here all the way down right there. So this is line A. They want us to label it line A. I'm just going to write the letter A next to line A. For line B, I'm just going to look at the slope and the y-intercept. So the slope is whatever's with the x. That's a slope of 1 over 3. My y-intercept, I don't have one, which means it's 0. So we're going to start off at 0. And then our slope is 1 over 3, which means rise 1, run 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. Next point goes over there. Rise 1, run 3. 1, 2, 3. Rise 1, run. I can't do that, but I can go backwards. 1, 2, 3. Rise 1. 1, 2, 3. And so let's just connect those points. That goes like that. That goes like that. So they want us to label this line B. I'm just going to write B right there. And then graph y equals -5. Well, I'm going to use blue for this one. What is my slope? I don't have a slope, so it's 0. And my y-intercept is -5. So I have a y-intercept of -5 and slope of 0, which means it is a flat line. I don't rise at all. I just run. You want us to call it line C. So, what is the solution of our, well, let's identify some solutions. Solution is where 2 points cross. So the solution of A and B is actually, let me use yellow. The solution of line A and B is actually right over there. It is, let's see what it is. I'm going to use purple. What point is that? What is the ordered pair? It is 1, whoops. It is 1, 2, 3, 1. So this ordered pair is 3, 1. What would the solution to, is there a solution between A and C or A and B? Yes, there is. They would cross over there, somewhere over there, and B and C would cross somewhere over there. So it's kind of far away, but the solution to 2 of those lines, A and B, is going to be 3, 1. All right, let's go to the next page. They want us to graph line D. Let me see. Line D. Ooh, in order to graph line D, I need to have it in slope-intercept form, so I need to isolate the y. So first thing I'm going to do is get rid of everything furthest away from y, which is this 9x, so subtract 9x from both sides. I can't subtract it from 12 because they're not like terms, so this cancels. And then I'm left with 3y equals -9 x plus 12. You could have also said 12 minus 9x. It's both the same thing. The y is still not by itself, so how do I need to get rid of 3? I get rid of the 3 by dividing, because it's 3 times y. The opposite of 3 times y is dividing by y, so that cancels out. I'm left with y. What I do when I divide the other side is basically I divide every term. So negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3x. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So now I have my first equation for line D. Let's do line E's equation. Let's do this one in green. So got to get rid of the 4x by subtracting 4x from both sides. That's going to cancel. I'm left with negative 2y equals negative 4x plus 14. Or 14 minus 4x, both mean the same thing. Now we need to get rid of the negative 2 by dividing by negative 2. Divide this by negative 2. Divide this by negative 2. What do I get? Negative 4 divided by negative 2. A negative divided by negative is a positive. You end up with 2x. 14 divided by negative 2 is negative 7. Now I have my second equation in slope-intercept form. Excuse me. Let's do the last one. Line F. So I get the y by itself. I have to get rid of this x, the minus 6x, so plus 6x to both sides. That gives me negative 8y on this side. I have 6x and positive 24. Now what? Oh, that's right. Get rid of the negative 8 by dividing by 8 by negative 8. That leaves me with y. I have to divide this by negative 8. I have to divide this by negative 8 as well. What is 6 divided by negative 8? You end up with 6 over 8, which is 3/4. You end up with 0.75, negative 0.75, and I don't like that. So I would actually rather keep in fraction form. That way I know what the rise and the run is. So I'm going to leave it as negative 3. You're going to reduce the 6/8 to 3/4. Negative 3/4 x. And then 24 divided by negative 8, you're going to get a negative answer because positive divided by a negative is a negative. And that is negative 3. So now I have 3 equations to go from. This one right here for line D, E, and line F. Now let's see if I have a solution of all 3 lines. So I'm going to start off with line, let's do a line D, which is slope of negative 3, a y-intercept of 4. So start off at negative 3, y-intercept of 4, which is the same thing as 4 over 1. Rise 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, run 1, good. Up 4 again, over 1, and then I think I can go backwards 1, and there we go. There's that. And then this. Yeah, if I had a ruler, it'd be nicer. But still good enough for now. Let's do our, and we need to label it as D, line D. Oh, that's ugly. Line D. Let's do line E. Our slope is 2. Our y-intercept is, not y, B is negative 7. So we start off at negative 7. Our slope is 2, which is the same thing as 2 over 1. Rise 2, run 1, 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 rise 2, run 1. And so ends up looking like this. And then let's, and that's line E. Let's go ahead and do line F now. So our slope is negative 3 over 4, and our y-intercept is negative 3. So we start off at negative 3. Oh, look at that. They cross paths. Slope of negative 3 over 4 is, excuse me, rise over run. Rise is negative 3. 1, 2, 3. Run is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rise, I can't do that further, but I could go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's take a look at this. Okay, and this is line F right here. So, do we have any solutions here? Well, we do have one solution for line D and F, and we also have another solution for E and F. It's where they cross. I have no idea what that is. That's going to be some kind of decimal or fraction, but that's okay. And D and E will have a solution. They will eventually cross. We just don't see where. All right. Let's do one more. We're going to solve and graph again. We need to isolate y, so let's get rid of everything else. Let's get rid of 3x first. If I add 3x there, I add 3x here. So I end up with negative 4y equals 3x, positive 3x minus 12. Now I need to get rid of the negative 4. So the times negative 4, which the opposite of that is dividing by negative 4. Divide this by negative 4. Divide that by negative 4. What do I get? 3 divided by negative 4 is going to be negative, let's keep it in fraction form rather than saying 0.75. Let's keep it as negative 3 fourths x. Negative 12 divided by negative 4 is going to be positive something. Positive what? Positive 3. So now I know my slope. It's 3. My slope is not 3. My slope is negative 3 over 4. My y-intercept is 3, though, so my starting point on the y-intercept is going to be 3. And slope of negative 3 over 4 means rise, a negative rise of 1, 2, 3, and run of 4. 3, 4. Negative rise, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can't go anymore. So let's see what that line looks like. Something like that. All right. So today you've learned how to graph equations with a y and an x, even if it's not in slope-intercept form, where the y is by itself on the left side and isolated. You know how to rearrange that equation so that it is in slope-intercept form. And what's in slope-intercept form? You know how to find the slope and find the y-intercept, and then graph that. We did learn about identifying solutions, which we'll do more of later, but a solution of lines, of more than one line, is basically where the lines cross. It's it's a point that the two lines have in common. That's what a solution is on a graph. So go ahead and try some problems on your own. Good luck.